reducing our carbon footprint. So, welcome aboard for an awesome experience that's also awesome for the environment.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the world-famous Universal Studio Tour. We are going to be taking off in just a few moments. So get comfy, get cozy, make sure to scoot all the way to the far right-hand side of the tram, filling all of those available seats. If you have any small children or any short boyfriends whose feet don't touch the floor of the tram, no worries. Just have them seated in the center of the tram, just around safety. And by the way, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Jorge. Everybody say hi, Jorge. Hi. I'm going to be your tour guide. We're going to have a great time.
I'm not sure. I'm a tour guide.
Make sure to watch those arms and legs as those gates come to a close, everybody. Luckily for everybody here, I am not driving. If I was driving, this would be a very short, very disastrous studio tour. But luckily for everybody here, we are in the hands of one of the greatest drivers in the business. His name is Jose. Everybody say hi, Jose. Hi, Jose. Jose is our driver. I am Jorge, your tour guide. I have one more introduction to make for my co-host for today, who you might recognize as the host of The Tonight Show, and That's My Jam on NBC. You know him, you love him. Everybody wave hello to Mr. Jimmy Fallon. Hi, Jimmy.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Jorge.
And the greatest driver.
Jose.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Jorge.
both get $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. First, if you need guest assistance or medical emergency, drop something about you off the side of the tram or have any sound or radio issues, just reach up and grab that red E-cord that runs along the center of the seat in the tram. Okay, I'll go back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. The studio is private property, so if at any point in time during the tour you have any serious emergency, just pull that cord, we'll stop the tram. I'll go back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated, keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Remember to use that red cord if you need any assistance. Please no smoking of any kind during the tour, and be prepared, everybody. Our tour today features loud noises, some tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. So have your cameras out for great photo opportunities. Keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. And finally, for your safety and those around you, please don't use selfie sticks while we're on board. Let's get this tour on the road, everybody. This construction that you see right here on your left-hand side is due because of the fact we're building a new roller coaster ride here at Universal. It is going to be based off of our Fast and Furious franchise. So make sure to check out our website, our social media accounts for more information on that. But we're getting our tour on the road, making our way down the Universal timeline here on your right-hand side. You're going to see a few movie posters here that represent just a few of over 8,000 movies that we've been able to film and distribute over the years. Not only are we exploring one of the world's largest and busiest production studios, everybody, we're also exploring one of Hollywood's oldest production studios. We were founded on March 15th, 1915 by that guy on your screen right there. That is German immigrant Carl Ludwig. He's the founder of Universal Studios. Back in the day, this place used to be called Movie City. We are now known as Universal City, and we are a city within itself, entirely dedicated to making movies, TV shows, commercials, music videos, reality show competitions, and we've always been dubbed as the strangest city in the world. Nobody actually lives here at Universal City, and as you can see right here on your right-hand side, no city is complete without its very own active fire station. Ours is right here on the right-hand side. We also have our own sheriff substation, medical services, our own zip code, and believe it or not, we also have our very own theme park. Believe it or not, that's so crazy. Once we reach the bottom of the hill, our first pit stop for today's studio tour is going to be exploring what we like to call the front lot. It's one of the most essential, most active parts of our studio lot, entirely comprised of all three phases of the production process. So all of our production offices, all of our sound and editing facilities, as well as the majority of our sound stages are all down here at the bottom of this hill. And if you're not sure what a sound station looks like, it's going to be the massive warehouses that we're going to be passing by once we reach the bottom of the hill. So we build elaborate sets inside of these sound stages all of the time. We bring all different kinds of locations to life, and a lot of active filming happens in these sound stages, including Soundstage 12, coming up right here on your left-hand side, built in 1928, the oldest soundstage on our studio lot. We were able to film sequences in there for Dracula, Frankenstein, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park. The list goes on and on and on. One recent production that was filmed in our front lot was season 2 for the TV show Bel Air. That is the dramatic retelling of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, starring both Jabari Banks and Ollie Schultz. They're going to appear on your screens in just a few moments to give you a little bit of insight on their experiences while they filmed that incredible show all around here in our wonderful front lot.
On the eggs, on the cheese, it's mine. Whoa, how many seats do you think are in there? I don't know, it's gotta be a lot. Probably fit the whole Bel Air cast and crew. You know, we gotta get one of these for the mansion. For sure. You're lucky for y'all, the Bates family mansion lives right here on the Universal lot. Right? Some of Bel Air's most pivotal scenes have been filmed right here. Jabari, what have been your most memorable moments? Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's so many to choose from. You know, I love the foyer set when Will first enters, and at that moment, his life changes forever. What about you? Well, the Bel Air Academy gym set is here too, and I'm really having to sit in that cold ice bath for like hours. And that was really fun. I still can't feel my toes. No, but seriously, my favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together, from hair, wardrobe, makeup, set design, props, and transportation. Transpo, yes! Yo, Transpo's the best, and they got the sweetest rides for us to play with. Actually, speaking of, we're gonna get a ride like this. We better go talk to Transpo now and let these people get back to our tour. Yeah, that sounds good. As long as I get to drive. No, not if I got the keys. Oh, not fun. Come on, man.
There has been a third season that has been renewed for that show, Bel Air. We're going to be doing a lot more filming for that show all around here in our front lot. And in our front lot alone, we have 28 of these sound stages here at our disposal. We have a few more scattered around our studio lot, but a majority of them are right here in our front lot. And these sound stages are where we built all different kinds of locations. Soundstage 14 is where we built and filmed all of our mountaintop layer scenes for How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey. So it is left to the imagination of all of our filmmakers, all of our creative team, to build those sets and make them come to life. And after filming has been completed, we go into post-production, go into these offices over here on your left-hand side to do all of our editing, all of our sound editing. So the magic that you see in the final product of any movie or TV show, lots of times it happens over here. We have been able to film and produce incredible projects over the years, a few of which you're going to see in this montage here on your screens. We do like to explore all different kinds of genres here at Universal. We mostly make live action projects, but occasionally we'll make animated films here as well. We collaborate with Illumination Entertainment to make animated movies like Despicable Me. You're going to see some of the minions coming up right here on your right-hand side, right below their logo. We were also able to collaborate with Illumination Entertainment to bring you the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and that has become their highest grossing movie to date. So as we continue pushing forward, I hope everybody's excited. We are going to be encountering our first celebrity sighting of the day. Everybody say, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. If you have a drink with you on today's studio tour, get it ready. We're going to be raising a toast to my good friend who's been waiting for us all day in the sun. And if you don't have a drink, it's okay. You can just wait below. He's waiting for us right here on your left-hand side. It's Mr. Tub the Bear. Hi, Tub. Toasting us with what looks like the dirtiest martini you've probably ever seen in your life. Don't blame him though, he has a lot to celebrate. He's getting his very own TV show, currently in development right here at Universal. And for any production that's going on, we start at the very beginning doing all of our brainstorming, writing our scripts, doing our budgeting, picking which actors are going to be a part of our projects. Those things happen before the cameras start rolling during pre-production inside all of these bungalows here on your left-hand side. So these bungalows are currently occupied by any production companies that like to work with us here at Universal, one of which includes Mark Plot Productions. They've worked on movies like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, La La Land, Legally Blonde, the list goes on and on and on. And they just completed filming part 1 for their movie adaptation of the hit Broadway musical Wicked, starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, and Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh. She just won her first Oscar earlier this year for her incredible performance in the Best Picture winner, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now again, this front lot, this first portion of our studio tour is usually one of the most active parts of our studio lot and our studio tour in general. As of the past 5 months, the Writers Guild and the Screen Actors Guild have been on strike, demanding better and more livable wages and rights here in Hollywood. So a lot of production is halted completely all around Hollywood. But of course, as of last week, the Writers Guild actually came to an agreement, so they'll be writing a lot more scripts in the very near future. Hopefully sometime this week, the Screen Actors Guild will be able to go to the negotiating table and be able to find an agreement as well, so we can have some production up and running again all around here in our front lot. So if we aren't using all of our sound stages here in our front lot, sometimes we're filming in real-life locations, but as we round this corner, we're actually going to be leaving our front lot behind, going into the back lot for the rest of our tour. We're going to be able to explore all of the incredible sets that we have sprawled throughout our studio lot. And one of those incredible sets that we like to use very frequently is our Metropolitan sets. Anytime we need to film in any kind of big city or a small town, any kind of metropolitan space that we need a little bit more control over in terms of the look and the appearance, look over here on your right-hand side, everybody. We are going to be entering our Metropolitan sets where we can bring any of those locations to life. And on certain occasions, our characters do need a place of residency here, so they usually stay in these apartment complexes that you're going to see coming up on your right-hand side, standing on what we like to call our Brownstone Street. You can see Brownstone Street used in movies like Airport, Gone Girl, even in the climax of Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, starring Macaulay Culkin and Catherine O'Hara. If you look closely, you'll also notice little squares on the edge of our sidewalks. That's where we can implement extra street lamps. So anytime that we need to film in any kind of nighttime sequence, or if we're exploring a certain time period, we can put era-appropriate street lamps into any of those squares that you see there. So it's a small detail, but it allows us to really transform this area into whatever time period that we might need for production here at Universal. And speaking of time travel, as we round another corner, we're entering one of the most prominent, popular parts of our Metropolitan sets. It's our City Hall right here in our Courthouse Square. If you're not familiar with City Hall, you might be familiar with it because of that clock tower on the top of our City Hall. That is the one that Doc Brown used to help Marty McFly go back to the future.
It was actually the backlot of the Courthouse Square that inspired the entire climax to Back to the Future.
I had scenes up in the clock tower on that ledge. Those ledge about that wide. And I was standing inside looking at the ledge, and I already had vertigo. I had to focus. No way in the world. No way I'm going to stand on that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
That's right, everybody. Welcome to Hill Valley. Of course, that first Back to the Future, starring both Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. On July of this year, July 3rd, it turned 38 years old. A lot of that first movie was not only filmed in our front lot, in our sound stages, but also right here in our Courthouse Square. In fact, for that first movie, we had a little bit of a shoestring budget for that movie at the time. So when we were working on that movie, the original script actually said that the ending for that movie should take place in a power plant. But that kind of location, that kind of set would have been way too expensive for our budget. So instead, with the help of all of our production designers, our set decorators, we transformed this entire area here into Hill Valley of 1985, 1955, and of course the distant future of 2015 for Back to the Future Part 2. So you'll see that we do have our very own City Hall over here on your left-hand side. We also have the fictitious fire station over here on your right-hand side. So as we move forward, just keep that in mind. Keep your eyes peeled. You'll see a lot of personality all around here in our Metropolitan sets. We have buildings of every kind that accommodate for any regular businesses that you would see in real life. Banks, hotels, restaurants, bookshops, stores, offices, movie theaters, anything that you might imagine that we might need, we all got it right here in our Metropolitan sets. Now, as we continue forward, everybody, it's important to know that you're going to see yet another Metropolitan backdrop a little further down the street over there on your left-hand side. So that is one of two Metropolitan backdrops we have here in our Metropolitan sets. If we wanted to, we could paint that backdrop entirely green and use it as a green screen. But you also notice some of the architecture on that side of our Metro sets is a little different from the rest of the architecture here on our Metropolitan sets. That's because that certain part of our Metro sets is what we like to call our London Square. It's specifically used for any kind of London location that we might need for filming here in our wonderful Metropolitan sets in Universal Studios. We were actually able to use some of our London Square for the Minty project created by Minty Kaling. And actually one of these buildings that we're going to be passing by over here on your left-hand side can actually be seen in Billie Eilish's Amazon Prime Day music video as well. So keep that in mind. And as we wait here, there's a little bit of traffic just up in front of us. So we are going to be here for just a few more moments. But as we move forward, you are going to get another nice vantage point at some of our Brownstone Street, those apartment complexes that we were talking about. So again, you can actually see those apartment complexes used in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, starring Macaulay Culkin, Catherine O'Hara, and Joe Pesci. Of course, we do like to utilize those quite a bit anytime that our characters need a place of residency in any kind of metropolitan area. They usually stay right there.
This is gonna stop!
a little screenshot right here of the one that you see on your screens. We are able to transform our wonderful area into whatever kind of area or time period that we might need for filming here at Universal Studios. And it's really coming down to being able to collaborate with all of our costume designers, being able to bring all different kinds of props as well. Even having a few vehicles from a certain time period can really give our area a certain sense of a transformation. And being able to really bring our audiences into whatever kind of area or era that we might be exploring here. Even when we were able to use it for Bruce Almighty, starring Jim Carrey.
Race the dog!
In the shadow!
Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good. Oh, you're done now. B-E-A-U.
Now, even for a scene like that, it's a very, very simple scene, but obviously, if you look really closely in the background on your screens, everybody, you'll notice all the little minute details that it takes to really be able to immerse our audiences, even having a few extras, a few background actors, even having all the little details about speed limits and all the different trees and all that. It really allows our audiences to believe that this is happening in a real Metropolitan space. But a lot of the times, it's filmed right here in our Metropolitan sets. And lots of times it looks a little barren, of course, but that is why we like to fill it to the brim with all of our background actors, all of our extras. And if you look closely at any of the buildings here, you'll notice the majority of these buildings do have interiors as well. So that makes our buildings practical sets. So any kind of practical set is any kind of set where we are able to film both inside and outside our buildings. We also have buildings that are called facades. And facade is French for false front. So that's used specifically for any kind of exterior shot that we might need for filming. So as we move forward in our studio tour, you'll see both examples of those kinds of buildings, but a lot of the buildings here in our Metropolitan sets are what we like to call practical sets. Now this street that we're on right now is one of the most frequently used streets in our Metropolitan sets. It's what we like to call our New York Street.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there by an old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me?
No.
Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey! I'm walking here! I'm walking here! It's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Now it's important to note that specifically when we like to film in any kind of real location, we are a little bit more limited in terms of how much we're able to decorate the area. Sometimes if we're doing some kind of action movie, we can't destroy the city as much as we would like to in a real life location. So instead of doing all that destruction in a real life location, you can come right here to our Metropolitan sets and do all of that damage right here with little to zero repercussions. In fact, on this street that we're on right now, we actually made a huge hole for the wonderful movie The Blues Brothers, starring Dan Aykroyd. So we were able to transform our New York Street into Chicago for that movie.
When the Pinto fell and you saw it land and make this big hole in the street, that was on the back lot. We dropped it from a crane. You dig like that in Chicago, good idea.
When people ask me, all of the movies I've ever done, what was the most satisfying or the most fun, I've got to say Blues Brothers. We got to sing, we got to dance, got to drive and train with the best stunt people in the world, and got to be an actor and a writer. So it was a good piece of work.
Danny called John America's Guest because he just didn't walk into anybody's house.
During the shooting of the movie, John was missing, we couldn't find him.
Danny went off looking for him, saw a light on in this one house and knocked on the door.
I said, sir, we're doing a movie down here. We're looking for one of our actors. Oh, John, yeah, he's on my couch. He came in, he had a snack a couple hours ago. He's sleeping. He was America's Guest. I mean, literally that happened.
Now, as I mentioned before, of course, a lot of these buildings do have interiors. A lot of them are practical sets. But if you do look closely at any of the buildings, you might also notice that some of the bricks that you see on our buildings aren't actually made out of brick at all. They're made entirely out of plywood and plaster. In fact, a lot of the buildings that are currently surrounding you right now, a lot of them are made out of plywood, plastic, and plaster. And that just makes it a lot easier for all of our set decorators to really transform this area, accommodate it, modify it for whatever kind of project is going on here at Universal Studios. Again, there is a little bit of a traffic standstill going on right in front of us, so we are going to be here for just a few more moments. But as we move forward, you are also going to see a lyric theater just around this little curved street right here. And as we move forward, this lyric theater that you're about to see coming up on your left-hand side can be seen in Spider-Man 2, starring Tobey Maguire. We were also able to transform the street into 1940s New York for Captain America: The First Avenger, starring Chris Evans. So in that first Captain America movie, there's a huge chase sequence that ensues on the streets of Manhattan. So we were able to bring vehicles from that time period and line up the streets with those vehicles, have a lot of background actors and extras fill in the space, make it feel like a lived-in environment. And if you look at any of the windows on our buildings, you'll notice some of those windows get progressively smaller the taller that you go. And that's just a little movie magic trick that we like to call forced perspective. So by minimizing the size of those windows, it makes our windows look a little bit further away from the ground and also makes our buildings look a little taller. So it's just one of the few practical effects that we like to do here to really transform our areas into whatever kind of a location that we might be exploring here at Universal. Now obviously lots of times when it comes to filming in all of our sound stages, it is left to the imagination of all of our production designers to bring all of our locations to life. And in this montage you can see just a few examples of all the different eras, all the different time periods and the locations that we've been able to explore here at Universal Studios. But a lot of them could not be done without our production designers. Of course, we need to also collaborate with our costume designers, all of our lighting departments as well, to really immerse our audiences, make them believe that we're actually existing inside of those time periods that we're exploring. Landscape shots. Obviously, sometimes we need to add in some computer-generated imagery and CGI to really immerse our audiences and make them look like huge locations as well. But lots of times they aren't practical sets. And again, that lyric theater is coming up right here on your left-hand side. So that is the one that you can see in Spider-Man 2 starring Tobey Maguire. Also, if you're a Lady Gaga fan, her music video for the song HHN was also filmed all around here in our Metropolitan sets. Hill in just a few moments, everybody. So on the other side of these buildings over here on your left-hand side, as we make our way up this hill, you are going to get another vantage point at some of our London Square, as well as that huge Metropolitan backdrop that we have on the other side of those buildings. Now we were also able to use that certain part of our Metropolitan sets for Will and Grace as well. I'll be able to show a clip from Will and Grace in just a few moments. But again, it is up to the imagination of all of the hard-working people that work here at Universal Studios to bring all of these incredible locations to life. And it is up to the imagination of all of them to bring those locations to life. And sometimes it comes to very, very small details to be able to really immerse our audiences.
Anastasia Beaver has just an ordinary tourist from the Midwest.
Oh, me too. What part?
Mission. Soda. Pencil concert. Home of the fighting Caucasians.
Alrighty, everybody, we're making our way up this hill, don't you worry.
Me included. One time
Make sure to take one last look at our Metropolitan sets. We're going to be leaving our concrete jungle behind, going somewhere a little more exotic now, a little further away from society. Make sure to enjoy the shade while you can. We are going to be entering this very ominous tunnel waiting for us here on your right-hand side. But we are going to be entering Skull Island, exploring the world of King Kong, directed by Academy Award-winning filmmaker Peter Jackson. He is going to introduce us to the world of King Kong. So make sure to remain seated at all times. Keep those arms and legs inside the vehicle. Hold on to any personal belongings you might have brought with you on today's tour. And make sure to prepare yourselves.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your life and sweep you up in the future. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from prehistoric times.
Alrighty, everybody, the time has come. Make sure to put on those 3D glasses if you haven't quite yet. computer-generated imagery, CGI. And usually in modern filmmaking, special effects rely on CGI to bring elements to life into our stories. And as you can see, elements can be literally anything. They can be an imaginary character, a creature, an explosion, an environment of any kind. But before CGI was invented, before computers were invented, filmmakers had to get creative in their approach to bringing these elements to life. and they would rely specifically on practical effects, which happened right then and there on the set. So the camera is capturing everything as it's happening in real time. And one of our favorite collaborators with our practical effects are all of our picture cars, our vehicles. They give us insight on where we are in the world, what time period we're in, but they also serve as tools to push our stories forward. And you'll see we have picture cars of every kind here, including our prehistoric picture cars from the Flintstones, made entirely out of plexiglass and rubber foam. We also have the Ford Anglia here from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. But picture cars don't have to just be cars, everybody. We also have a gyrus here from Jurassic World. And at the very end here, you'll also see a tank from Transformers. This tank is made entirely out of plywood and a really good paint job. Lots of times these picture cars have to go through crazy stunts. Car chases, flips, stunts, explosions of every kind. Anytime that you see any picture car going through it in any kind of movie or TV show, they are not made out of regular car materials. They are specifically designed to be able to endure all of those crazy stunts we put them through. So they can be made out of plywood, plexiglass, rubber foam, plastic. It really just depends on the scenario. And on certain occasions here at Universal, just like we did about 30 years ago, sometimes our picture cars also need to be dinosaur-proof. So we're going to be going off the coast of Costa Rica now, heading into Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Welcome everybody. Coming up here on your left-hand side are some of our mobile lab sets seen and used in Jurassic Park: The Lost World, directed by Steven Spielberg. We usually have our animatronic dinosaurs over here on your right-hand side, but I think they were let out a little early, or maybe they clawed themselves out, I'm not too sure. They're usually in those cages though, so if you do happen to see any dinosaurs roaming around by any chance, just make sure to wave hello. They love saying hi to all the guests here. Oh, there's one right now. Everybody wave hi. That's how they say hi, everybody. Jurassic Park is one of the successful franchises here at Universal Studios. That first Jurassic Park was released on June 11th, 1993, also directed by Steven Spielberg. It was a revolution, and it had groundbreaking special effects for its time. Not only did we use animatronic dinosaurs for that movie, we also used CGI dinosaurs to make those dinosaurs come to life. But in addition to recreating dinosaurs, we also like to recreate the weather. We like to recreate environments here at Universal. And living in sunny Los Angeles, we don't get all 4 seasons of the year here, so we do need to cooperate with our special effects team to make any weather pattern come to life. And that does include rain. So welcome to La Fiesta de la Lluvia. We're entering a party of rain. And coming up here on the left-hand side, our special effects team is going to work side their magic to give us a rain sequence right here in front of your eyes. Using some overhead sprinklers on these buildings and these trees. These overhead sprinklers are called rain rigs. And our special effects team are going to turn them on when I say the word action. And they'll give us a rain sequence. Alright, action. These rain rigs offer heavy, visible drops of water that the camera can capture. It is difficult to capture rain on a camera, so we made sure that these rain rigs offer visible drops of water that the camera can see while we're filming. But if we leave these on for too long, very disastrous consequences await us. So wherever you are, a special effects team, y'all can turn off those rain rigs. Alright, at any moment now, y'all can turn off the rain rigs now. We're all good. Uh-oh. How does this sound good? Uh-oh. Looks like we turned on the flashback sequence dinosaurs. Sorry about that, everybody. Our flashback sequence is the oldest attraction here at Universal Studios, using thousands of gallons of recycled water. You can see this effect in Lady Gaga's music video for her song Judas. By the way, in that music video, she also does some choreography for that music video right here inside of our Old Mexico sets, everybody. So welcome to Old Mexico. We also used our Old Mexico sets for Nacho Libre starring Jack Black. We also had a wedding scene right here for What's Love Got to Do With It, starring Academy Award nominee Angela Bassett. But we're moving away from Mexico now, going going across the border into our Western sets, some of the oldest sets here at Universal. We used our Western sets for Quentin Tarantino's ninth film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Oscar winners Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal lot.
I hear this where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
I want to see you mount up and get out of town while we're getting good.
All right. Well, I'll see you again, Fallon.
Oh, you can count on it, fella. Now get out.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Now, a lot of those Western movies back in the day, they were all silent movies, everybody. We did not use any audio or any sound back in the day for our movies. So we were able to film 6 different movies all at the same time, up and down that street that we were just on. And that's why we like to call this area here 6 Points. But leaving 6 Points behind, you can also catch a glimpse at our beautiful body of water right here on your left-hand side, called Park Lake. And due to its incredible size, we use Park Lake for any body of water that we might need for filming, including the Amazon River. We made it into the Amazon River for The Creature from the Black Lagoon, our cult classic from 1954. A lot of iconic monster movies were made here at Universal Studios. Dracula, Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Mummy, The Phantom of the Opera, The Invisible Man, The Wolfman, all of them had their humble beginnings at Universal Studios, but more specifically, inside of our Little Europe sets. We're going to be entering our Little Europe sets right here on your right-hand side. And this is the birthplace of all of our iconic monsters. So a lot of them, of course, they had their humble beginnings here, but you'll also notice even these cobblestone streets that we are about to drive on are accommodating for any faraway European country, city, town, or village that we might want to explore here. But in addition to all of our iconic monster movies, if you missed the sign right outside our Little Europe sets, we also use this entire area here as the afterlife for all 4 seasons for one of my favorite TV shows, The Good Place.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
All 4 seasons of The Good Place utilize every inch of our Little Europe sets. Again, it is currently shooting on Netflix. But as we move forward, you're also going to see our Court of Miracles coming up right here on your right-hand side. This is where a lot of our iconic angry villagers would gather up and riot against all of our favorite monsters. Again, this is the birthplace of a lot of those monster movies. So a lot of our monster movies were made all around our incredible Little Europe sets. Studios back in the day were very, very well known for specific genres of films, and here at Universal back in the day specifically, we were very well known for all of our monster movies.
I think we have something with monsters. Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, The Mummy, Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera, classic films are just brilliant. That Frankenstein image, flathead, it's one of the great icons of the world. That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. And I was just mesmerized by it. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now, and we love them.
We're already a little more than halfway through our tour, everybody. So again, if there's any serious emergency of any kind, just pull that red E cord, Remain seated at all times. I'll go back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. We will be moving forward for the rest of our studio tour. Of course, we've been able to go through all different kinds of thrills and scares and all that, but we're going to take it a little easier as we move forward. You're going to get another nice vantage point of some of our Western sets, but we're not going into our Western sets again. We're actually going to be leaving both our 6 Points and our Little Europe sets behind. And as a reward for all of your bravery on the studio tour so far, we're going to be exploring Amity Island now. This is, of course, from our 1975 film Jaws, directed by Steven Spielberg. It says that Amity Island is closed today, but we're going to be entering anyway. We're going to break the rules a little bit. And as you can see, as we enter Amity Island, the shark that has caused so much trouble here at Amity Island, he is out of the water, so there's really nothing to worry about, nothing to fear. So take a deep breath. We're in for a very peaceful visit to Amity Island. Again, nothing to worry about. My good friend George is patrolling the waters out there, making sure that the coast is clear. So, not too sure what that fish is doing there, boy. Not too sure. Oh, there's George right now. Everybody we have George and George. What happened? Again, nothing to worry about. If there's any kind of a huge shark that might cause us any harm, we'll probably do it on the far end of this body of water. So just keep your eyes on the horizon. If you see anything, let me know for sure. He's special all on his own. But the mechanical shark that we did use for filmmaker Jaws way back in 1974, that shark had a lot of technical difficulties on set during filming.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, "The shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working."
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark worked well enough for a while there, and things were going on. So I really owe the shark a lot.
Of course, there were a lot of technical difficulties that happened on set during filming for Jaws, but it worked out just fine in the end. Jaws was such a massive success at the box office. It is still considered the first ever summer blockbuster movie. It won 3 Academy Awards. It was also the highest grossing movie of all time for a while though. And the director, Mr. Steven Spielberg, right there on your screens, he was only 26 years old when he directed that movie. It immediately put him on the map as one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. And he has been coming to Universal Studios to make all of his movies ever since. Leaving Amity Island behind, you're also going to see our wonderful neighborhood set Elm Street over there on your left-hand side. Don't worry, no nightmares happen over there. And as we make our way up this hill, you're also going to see our Chicken Ranch house coming up here on your right-hand side. And on that porch of our Chicken Ranch house is where Dolly Parton sang "I Will Always Love You" in the best little whorehouse in Texas. This is a perfect example of what we like to call a practical set. We were able to film both inside and outside this house here. Now, our other neighborhood set, Colonial Street, is closed off today, but you can get a quick glimpse of Colonial Street right here on your left-hand side. We used Colonial Street as Wisteria Lane for the Desperate Housewives, and we also used it for the entire 4-season run of the wonderful Netflix show, Never Have I Ever, also created by Mindy Kaling. starting at 7 p.m. We go into Halloween Horror Nights here at Universal Studios. So once the sun goes down, our studio tour turns into the Terror Tramp, and we bring guests right here to this corner where they are dropped off and they're able to walk the rest of our studio lot. The theme for this year's Terror Tramp is all around insects, parasites, and creepy crawlers. So you're going to see some of those decorations for Halloween Horror Nights as we move forward for the rest of our studio tour. But you're also going to see a few more picture cars here, including that green car right next to that double-decker bus. That belongs to Mr. Bean. We also have our Decepticon cop car from Transformers, our Mystery Machine as well, and several of our picture cars from Fast and Furious, including Dominic Toretto's Black Dodge Charger and the Orange Julius, the first car we ever see in that franchise. The newest installment to Fast and Furious Fast 10 is currently streaming on our streaming service Peacock, so I highly recommend that you give it a watch if you haven't already. We're going to be paying a visit to the Motel de las Cucarachas, but to any of you film buffs, any of you cinema lovers out there, you'll recognize this area better as the Bates Motel. This is, of course, from Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 classic, Psycho. Just last month, Psycho turned 63 years old. It is still considered one of the greatest films of all time. And it is absolutely great. It is currently streaming on Netflix, everybody. Now, usually for Halloween Horror Nights, if you're here for HHN, you're usually greeted by the one and only president and owner of the Bates Motel, Mr. Norman Bates, right outside the Psycho house. But he's usually busy during the day, so we're not expecting to see him. But it looks like your luck has changed. There he is right now on your left-hand side on the count of 3. Everybody say, hi, Norman. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Norman. How's it going, buddy? Oh, my goodness. It looks like he's all ready for... He's already prepared for Halloween Horror Nights, so we're just going to keep moving along, everybody. Nothing to worry about, nothing to fear. If you're here for Halloween Horror Nights, you might not be as lucky, so make sure to watch it. We're entering a now destroyed New Jersey neighborhood. This is our incredible disaster site set from Steven Spielberg's alien abduction film from 2005, War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise. So here on your left-hand side is a real-life Boeing 747 aircraft. That is a real-life airplane purchased by Steven Spielberg to use for the film. He bought this plane for $60,000. We got it shipped out here from the Mojave Desert for an extra $200,000. And this plane was so massive, we had to cut it in half so that it could fit under overpasses while we drove it out here from the desert. So as you can see, that's why the top half of that aircraft is completely taken off. And War of the Worlds is an alien abduction movie. So Steven Spielberg liked the look of it so much that he was like, you know what, just leave it exactly as it is. It's perfect just as it is. Now over here on your right-hand side are replicas of real-life houses in a real-life New Jersey neighborhood that production designer Rick Carter rebuilt and redestroyed for this incredible scene here. But speaking of alien abduction movies, we have one more set to explore on our studio tour. The newest addition to our studio tour, brought to you by Academy Award-winning filmmaker, writer, and director Jordan Peele. He is the mastermind behind movies like Get Out, Us, and his third and latest feature film from last summer, his sci-fi horror movie Nope. Here to introduce you to the actual set that was used for filming for that movie is the genius behind it all, Oscar winner, Jordan Peele. Here to introduce you to Shakespeare's plan.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Planet, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupe Park. Over there, look into the winking room and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Share. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, the gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab
sign for any of us here. But take this in, this is the actual set that was used for filming for Jordan Peele's third and latest feature film, Nope. Starring Oscar winner Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, Stephen Yeun, and Brandon Padilla. It is currently streaming on Amazon Prime, so as Halloween approaches, make sure to add it to your watch list if you haven't seen it already. One of the best films from last year, in my personal opinion, and that set was created by the production designer for that movie. Her name is Ruth DeYoung. She also collaborated with Jordan Peele on his second feature film, Us, starring Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o. And she was also the production designer in the new feature film Oppenheimer, directed by Christopher Nolan. Now we are able to be taking refuge inside this garage for just a few moments, everybody. Not because of any alien abduction that was going on in the sky, but because we've been tracked down, we've been getting followed this entire studio tour. All of you have learned so much about all the history of Universal, all the ins and outs of the movie-making magic that happens here, all the secrets behind Halloween Horror Nights. There's one person who thinks that you all know a little bit too much for your own safety. His name is Mr. Owen Shaw. He's trying to make sure that you keep your mouth shut for good. So that's why we're taking refuge inside this garage. But no worries, if we happen to find us in here, we'll be getting some help from some of our friends from Fast and Furious.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you, Sean, for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you. To keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone can give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, on to the next step.
Alright, we got notifications on, everybody. We're going to be heading inside. Make sure to blend in, act natural, be cool. Mr. Shaw might be looking for us, so make sure to blend in.
This is what we doing. This is the race day after party. And what are they?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Him?
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours.
Escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to go.
Now's your time to do so. We might be heading into a whole world of trouble against Mr. Owen Shaw. So have those glasses ready to go. Keep those arms and legs inside the vehicle. Hold on to your personal belongings. Make sure to brace yourselves, everybody.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
Okay, guys, it's showtime.
It's crazy out there. It's really hard.
My Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it. They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys look it up. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
We couldn't have done any of this without our incredible driver, Jose, everybody. Let's give it up for our driver, Jose. A round of applause from everybody. He's going to be taking us back to the onboard plaza so you can enjoy the rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood. That does conclude our world-famous Universal Studio tour.